Ladies and gentlemen, this YouTube channel vlog show is of authenticity, inspiration, and realness. It is also about personality, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here is your host of the show, Mr. Big Beefy E himself, the elder statesman of Rant and Rave, and Mr. Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode number 1005. What's going on, everybody? It is the 10:08 p.m., November the 15th, 2023. Some news before we get started. A VPA episode will be played later on in the month of November because one of my items will not come in until the 27th or the 28th of December, unfortunately. So, even though it's going to be released this coming Friday, it will come later on because Amazon's going to get packages ahead, needed packages and all that. And so, this ought to be. So, check it out for a future. Check that item out on a future episode of my show with under the segment the virtually purchased acquisitions. So check that out. So we're talking about what happened on the final Dynamite before Full Gear, as Hook and Orange Cassidy, the champions, Hook the FTW champ, Orange Cassidy the international champ, to face the Blackpool Combat Club team of John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta. And Moxley and Yuta did pick up the victory in that matchup. And Moxley did address Orange Cassidy at Full Gear. And at Full Gear, Moxley will beat Cassidy for that international title. In an in-ring interview, Tony Schiavone interviewed both Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. These two got into it verbally, personally, I might add. And then he ended up beating up Prince Nana and the security guard, and some security guys trying to separate him. And Swerve and some security guys even got beat up by Adam Page as a result. So this Texas death match could be insane. Lexi Nate interviewed Roderick Strong in the Kingdom, and Roderick Strong video calls Adam Cole. Roderick Strong says that MJF's devil, and Adam Cole says, stop. So, and he's about had enough of Roderick Strong's accusation. Red Velvet and Sky Blue in a TBS title eliminator matchup. The winner of this matchup moves on to Full Gear to not only face Chris Statlander, the defending champion, also and Julia Hart in a triple threat match. Sky Blue ended up winning that matchup with the Cold Blue, and so she will join up with Julia Hart against Chris Statlander for the TBS championship. I got a hunch there's a plan that could go down. Miro addresses the partnership of Andrade and CJ Perry, and he said that CJ Perry created a storm that Daniel Garcia will know about. So at Friday, the Friday 8 special with Collision, it will be Miro going one-on-one with Daniel Garcia. Then RJ City and Mariah May. Interviewing Mariah May. Mariah May finally got the chance to meet the Timeless One, Tony Storm, the lovely Tony Storm, still looking lovely. And then she, Mariah May gets excited, and then held up her hand, and then she gets up, she goes, and then she goes to Luther and says, Luther, get me a warm-up matchup, and that warm-up match will be against Emi Sakura at Rampage this coming Friday. Can't wait to see the lovely Timeless Tony Storm in action once again. Samoa Joe went up against John Cruz, and Samoa Joe won with ease. Then he addresses MJF, offering his hand in friendship. Time's running out, he says. So there's that. So the Continental Classic made an announcement. We know Bryan Danielson, despite being hurt, will be part of the tournament. I think he'll be recuperating from that orbital bone. We shall see. And Commander and Penta El Zero Miedo went up against the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks threw some cheating by giving both Lucha Superstars some low blows. and ended up winning the matchup. And then Lexi Nair interviewed the Young Bucks, and then Kenny Omega kind of confronted them about what's going on. And then the Young Bucks started running their mouths. Chris Jericho came into the picture. Both men had a war of words, and then the shoving and punching began, and they had to get separated. In fact, Jericho says, now's not the time. We got an 8-man street fight to do. And so pushes and shoves and fight. Both teams started fighting, an argument, and security was separating everybody. So there's that. The Guns took on the team of Peter Avalon, Jacoby Watts, and they made quick work of both Avalon and Watts. They addressed MJF about the Ring of Honor tag team titles. He says no, everybody's left you, and then Wardlow says he's still coming from MJF. So MJF's starting to be the John Wick of AEW. Everybody seems to want a piece of the guy, So, but MJF admitted he was a little bit afraid, but he says, I may be afraid, but I'm still going to do it. And then you got to respect MJF for that. Let's see what we got here. And so the street fight, the 8-man, like a dragon guiding street fight, they call it. And Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and Paul White, known as the Golden Drags of Dojima, to go up against the Don Callis family. That would be the team of Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita. Let's try that again. The team of Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and the team that was reunited, somewhat like a Team Taz reunion of Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs. This fight went all over the place. Jericho and Takeshita battling the concourse stands. Hobbs and White were battling. Were battling like near the docking, the dock area, the parking garage and whatnot. And meanwhile, Omega and Ibushi were battling with Fletcher and Takeshita at ringside. Fletcher and Cage. So, and but despite Powerhouse Hobbs slamming Paul White on top of a car and all that, despite all that, the Golden Dragons of Dojima, that will be the team of Paul White, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi, won that street fight against the hot dog man himself, Don Callis, and the family. So, MJF comes out to address the crowd, and he addresses Jay White, and then he says, whoever has that devil mask who stole it from him, I will find you, and they will be held to pay. Jay White comes out, all spirits, we know it's you, and all that, and got 2 words for you, get him, and then the rest of Bullet Club, the Guns and Juice Robinson jump MJF and attacking him from behind, standing tall, while Samoa Joe looks on from backstage. And I'll tell you what, some huge news. Now the family, as you know, last night they did get the tag team titles of NXT back from but they kind of have a new, they kind of have a new member of the family. Anna Kiefer, who is a track and field alum, she will be now, I think, the manager, so to speak, of Channing, Channing Stacks Lorenzo and Tony D'Angelo. She'll be known as Adriana Rizzo, and she'll be probably the new manager of the family, the new NXT Tag Team Champion. So that brings a whole new dynamic for the family. She's very beautiful, and if she's a track star, she's going to be fast in the ring. And so we'll find out what more about this young lady as we go along here. But we're talking AEW Dynamite, the final Dynamite before Full Gear. I'll make one. Oh, I was wondering what the heck that was. This is the pen. Anyways, I will make one quick prediction, though, before the women's title matches. This was a tough decision to make. to make a prediction. Timeless Tony Storm challenging Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's title. I believe Timeless Tony Storm is going to win it because I think Mariah May will play a key role in that matchup. Could get involved. So be that as it may, but who knows for sure. So that could be the thing. That's why I think Tony Storm will win, because Mariah May could get involved. So, but until the next episode comes rolling around, episode 105 is complete, and we'll check it out. Tomorrow will be some Pressure Luck, Rant and Rave. Let's rock and roll with this thing, all right? So until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. This concludes today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A big beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bova Telepictures and Distribution. See you next time on another episode of the show. Goodbye for now.